Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and to this video where I'm going to do 3 looks with the new Amrezy palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a collab with influencer Amrezy. I think her name is Amra and she is like an OG influencer. I'm pretty sure that Amrezy and Rina, like the creative director of Anastasia, are actually friends in real life because this is the 3rd collab that they're doing. I do not have, this one has like a very glittery packaging and it does come off a little bit. It also comes in a unicorn that I lost somewhere. It was like it's just a shiny Barbie pink, the same shade but just like a unicorn, and it doesn't come with a plastic cover. I threw that away because I don't use mirrors. If you use mirrors in palettes, save the plastic cover because it's gonna protect your mirror so it doesn't get like all foggy with powders and glitters. It also comes with a dual-ended brush. I don't use this with Anastasia shadows because usually I feel like these are too dense for the softness that the Anastasia shadows have. But 2 of these shadows, the Semsa, maybe 3, Semsa, BK and Hugo, they're actually a bit drier, like they feel drier, they feel more firmly pressed in the pan, and that could be because of the pigments. With this one it's probably because it has red pigments in it. Red pigments usually makes a shadow feel like rougher. Not rougher, but like it makes it feel like drier and like firmer. You probably felt that before if you have ever felt like a red eyeshadow. It still works pretty pigmented though. I'm not gonna do a full review. I'm gonna put some swatches up on top of me now so you can see how these look. I have had this palette now for a week. I've done 3 looks. I've swatched all of these. I compared them to a couple of shades that I have from Anastasia, but I'm not doing a review because I haven't even used all of the shades on my eyes, but you're gonna see 3 looks in this video. I just thought I'd share some thoughts on this palette. It swatches pretty good, except these 3 that are a bit drier, but I've used all 3 of these drier shades on my eyes and I feel like they work really good on your eyes with the brush. Maybe you do need a primer though. I think it's just because of the pigments and the formulation. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with any of these shades on the eyes. This palette has 2 pressed glitters and I don't think that any of them are considered eye safe. Listen, sometimes we say like there is no difference between pressed glitter. A pressed glitter is a pressed glitter. With this one, I have to respectfully disagree. I feel like this is an awful formulation of a pressed glitter. It is formulated the same way as their shimmers are, which is extremely loose, so that if you touch it too much, you actually like dig into the pan and it feels extremely dry. And maybe you saw that in the swatches as well, because it doesn't swatch like a firm, like just a straight line of glitter. It swatches patchy, and when you try to go over it, all the glitters move around because there's not enough binders to these, so you will need a glitter glue. There is no chance in hell that you're going to be able to use this and not have glitter everywhere without using glitter glue. So I really do not understand the self-adhering glitter part, because they are not. They're gonna adhere, sure, a bit of everywhere. They're gonna adhere here for a bit and then they're gonna move and they're gonna adhere here for a bit. You're gonna find this glitter everywhere. If you don't use a glitter glue, I promise you, you will find this glitter on your face, in your underwear, on your man, in your cereal, on your dog. They're gonna be everywhere. So do use a glitter glue with this. Trust me on this one. It's not gonna be fun. And I also don't understand why they put two so similar glitters. One is like a rose gold and one is like a cool tone bronze. I know, I understand those are different colors, and if you're a lover of bronze and golds, you're like, they're so different. Like how I see like blues, I'm like, they're so different. I get it. But for me, they're quite similar, and I kind of wish that one of them was like a iridescent one with like a shimmery top with like transparent glitters, if they're gonna do, because this palette was meant to be a Barbie theme. I think that maybe it would be better if one of them was that, but at the same time, like, Amra is more into neutrals, so I'm surprised that this is as colorful as it actually is. The Leo one is beautiful, the Reezy one is beautiful, the Barb one, and the Cupcake and the Semsa. So the shades that are colorful in this palette definitely perform very nicely, and they are pretty colorful on the eye. So I am pretty satisfied with that. I will say this palette has 2 more shades than the normal palettes have. I took out one for reference so you can see that this one is longer because it has 2 more shades, and that is those 2 glitters. Otherwise it is half and half shimmers and mattes like it has been for a while, and then they just added 2 glitters. I couldn't live without the glitters. I'm sure a lot of people could have lived without the glitters, but here we are in the world with pressed glitters. I'm kind of hoping that this is the first and last palette that they have that in, especially if it's this kind of formulation, because these aren't good. This Barb one is actually, I'm gonna stick out my chin and I'm gonna say that I think that this might be the first multi-chrome super like shimmery formula that I have seen in a commercial palette. Maybe we can argue that some of the Lunar Beauty ones have had like that kind of super iridescent formula that we've only seen at indie brands, but this one is very shimmery and it goes from a pink base to a gold, and then you see like lime and turquoise flips to it throughout it. It's very beautiful. It's what I have in the middle of my lid right now. I see a very iridescent result here. Maybe you'll see it as well when I'm doing the close-ups. I don't know, I haven't looked at its footage, but just letting you know that Barb is a very exceptional shade. Here's the thing, I don't own any of the neutral palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I only own this palette right now. I've gotten rid of all the other ones. I never bought the Modern Renaissance, I never bought the Soft Glam, and I never bought Sultry. If you own any of those palettes and if you have a blue in your collection, you probably don't need this one. But if you don't have any neutral palettes and you want to have, because I do feel like this is a maybe 1/3 colorful and 2/3 neutral. This is my neutral Anastasia palette, and then it has this really, like these really great pops of pinks and blues that are actually extremely good quality. This dragon is also very orangey toned, so if you use this one together with some oranges in the crease, you're probably gonna get a really bright result, to be honest. I feel like this is actually more versatile than I thought it was gonna be. Will say though, these two, I don't know if someone was drunk over at production, but these are so similar, and you probably saw that in the swatches as well. They should not, in a palette that only has, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only 16 shades, 2 of them shouldn't be borderline identical. Yeah, I get it. OG is more of a neutrally brown one and the New Yorker is more of an orangey one, but honestly, on the lid, they're pretty much the same. And it's like I can't understand why there are two so similar shades in this palette. These two are pretty similar as well, but this one is clearly more warm and this is clearly darker and a very cool tone brown. This, I think they should have made a bit more of a distinct difference between them. This one should have been a straight up either a peach or an orange, and this one should have been even less orange and more of a neutral brown to warrant them being in the same palette, because this is actually kind of ridiculous. They're so similar. If you use this one on one eye and then accidentally use this one on the other eye, you're not gonna see that much of a difference. Yeah, sure, some difference, but not that much, to be honest. But overall, the quality is really nice if you're not thinking about the glitters, because the glitters aren't good. Otherwise, the quality has been nice. You saw the swatches. I wanted to show you the Norvina one because I've heard some people say, let me put the brush up. I've heard some people say that they think that these are similar, and they are a bit similar, but they are definitely far from dupes. I feel like this reddish shade here at the bottom, it is way more brown than the more reddish more purpley shade here. These two are not the same at all. I mean, the shimmery brown and the brown matte, they're in all Anastasia palettes, so obviously that's what I'm saying. If you have a neutral palette from Anastasia, you don't need another one. I will say that Cupcake and Celestial, they are pretty similar. Not dupes, but pretty similar. So if you wanted to buy this palette for the Cupcake shade, yeah, if you have this, you already have it. I will say I prefer the Norvina over this one. I feel the Norvina is even more colorful than this one, even though when you look at it, maybe you won't see that, but to be fair, most Anastasia palettes are pretty similar, and if you, at this point, if you own one, you own all of them. But I don't think that these two are as similar as some people have said. The only ones that are really similar is the Celestial and the Cupcake. I also wanted to show you, because I have all my Anastasia singles in a little palette like this. Let me show you. And I have Love Letter here. I don't have the Modern Renaissance, but I do have the Love Letter. So I thought maybe we can swatch the Love Letter next to the Semsa, because I feel like if you have, yeah, these are very similar. I hope you can see they're so similar. The Love Letter one is slightly more pinkish and the Semsa one is slightly more purple, but I'll be honest, they are almost dupes. So maybe if you own the Modern Renaissance and you were like looking to get this matte and some neutrals, maybe you don't need it. I feel like this palette is for all of us like me that never got any of those neutral palettes. I feel like this could be your staple palette if you sometimes like a pop of pink or blue and you don't own a neutral palette from Anastasia already. Other than that, I honestly, I don't know. Or if you're a super fan of the Amrezy, of course, because sometimes we do want to support our favorites, and if you like the palette, maybe. I bought this palette myself in Sweden. I will link a couple of places down below where you can find it. Overall, it's a nice palette. I do recommend it. I kind of don't like the glitters. I don't like pressed glitters in palettes, but I especially don't like these because I don't think that these are a good formulation. Other than that, it's a pretty nice palette. I'll use it a bit more and I'll include it in a review roundup in a bit. You know, I told you I'm gonna do those once a month. But yeah, let's get into the looks. I'll have a bunch of timestamps down below if you want to switch around, if you want to come back and look at the swatches again, or if you want to look at some of the looks again. So yeah, don't forget to check the description box for all the info and to subscribe if you want to be subscribed. If you only want to hear my thoughts on the palette, this was it. Those were my thoughts. Now we're getting into the looks. Okay, I am so excited! I haven't even opened this. So this is actually my first impression, this tutorial right here. This is the first impression. I haven't swatched it. I've only looked at it. So let me take this brush out. I am so excited. I usually don't buy palettes like this, but I wanted to... Let's move my phone. I wanted to do something with the blue, the Leo one. I think these two are so similar. I'll probably talk about that in the beginning. I think I'm gonna use OG and I'm gonna use a little bit of Hugo. Is that the name? Hugo? I think Hugo. And then I'm just gonna do Leo all over. So I'm gonna try and keep this somewhat simple. I hope. Okay, so this is OG. I'm just gonna do a little bit in the crease with this one. Ooh, and I'm wearing the Anastasia liquid lipstick in Starfish. I don't really love their formula, but some of them are really good, and I do like the Starfish one. So that's the one I'm wearing, and I did overdraw my lips a bit, so hashtag somewhat sorry. Just happened. It all escalated so quickly. I'm just gonna do a bit of a soft crease with this mid-tone brown. Not gonna be too thorough, not gonna try and deepen it up too much. Just putting some definition in the crease. I'm gonna use a little bit of this under my eyes as well, just to shade a bit before. I think I'm gonna put the blue under my eyes as well. But it's nice to have a bit of shading, and that's why I use, basically that's the only reason why I use browns. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a little bit of this dark brown and I'm just gonna deepen up a little bit in this outer part. Nothing advanced, just deepen it out a little bit. And I'm gonna try and not pull it in too much, just keeping it out here just a little bit. I usually like putting some darkness in my outer corners just for some definition because I feel like it helps my eye shape, but I do think it's important to experiment with your own eye shape and find out which places like suit you the best. Like, where does it suit you the best to put some darkness? And for me, I feel like it's just out here in the outer corner or in the outer half of my lid, but it might be different for you. So do try a bit, because just adding a little bit of darkness can do a lot for your look. I will say this dark brown Hugo is very dark. Do you see how dark that is? That's nice. You know, I like a dark shadow. Like dark eyeshadows, they're my favorites. Okay, now we're going into this Leo shade, and I am gonna spray it because I feel like spraying a shadow gives me less fallout. That's just how I feel about it. Let me see if I can tap some off at least, so I can avoid... Ooh, I still got some. I think I packed too much on the brush. Don't do what I did, kids. And now I'm just gonna put this all over my lid, and I'm also gonna gently blend this, not into my crease, but just fade it. So it's not a sharp edge. I'm not trying to create a sharp edge. I'm trying to like blur this, and I'm just gonna get some of that blue out because we don't want blue on our cheeks. That's not the look I'm going for, at least not today. How I do when I try to blend these, I use a Vermona color switch, but you can use just paper and just try to brush off like, or get your brush somewhat clean in between and not moist. And I just drag upwards and in. And I just try to soften the edge by doing that. So upwards and in. And I just soften the edge by doing that, and I go over several times, and I just clean in between. Like I said, you can use a paper until I feel like I have the result I want, and then I go over and I blend the edges even more with that like brownie shade that we had. Just putting a bit on the edge where they meet. You see, I'm not blending, I'm just tapping, and I have a bit of the brown on the brush. And then I'm blending above, not really on the edge. It's not going to be 100% blended because it's not that easy to blend a blue into a brown, because they're not really two colors that are meant to be a seamless blend. So don't expect a seamless blend. When you're working with colors like these, they are not next to each other on the color wheel, because a brown and a blue, the blue is gonna turn into something really muddy, and if you blend it too much, it's gonna have to be good enough. I mean, technically maybe they are next to each other on the color wheel because the brown is technically in the middle, but it's just not gonna be 100% perfect. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna use a bit of that dark brown again in the outer corners once I feel like we're done. I'm using the same brush again to my lower lash line. This is the short shader E20 from Sigma, and I'm taking more of the Leo, which is the blue, and I'm gonna spray it, and now we're gonna run this under our eyes, because I want this to be an like all over eye look kind of a deal. I'm also taking a bit in my inner corners. Actually taking the turquoise all the way around. My dog is a bit bored in the background, so sorry if you can hear that, but he lives here. Now I'm going back to that shade Hugo, the dark brown, and I'm just layering this a bit on top of the blue in a diagonal line going from the outer corner a bit in towards the lash line, just deepening up the outer corner and just the first part of the lash line. I hope you can see the difference between these two eyes. Like this one is just a little bit more defined than what this is right now. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a bit of a turquoise, I think, in my waterline and some mascara, and I'll come back and show you what this looks like. Okay, so this is the look now. I used the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner in Electric. And this is the same color as the eyeshadow. I think that this looks so cool together. Maybe I should tightline a bit as well. Is that better? Probably not. I am gonna put on, I already took them out of the packaging, but I'm gonna put on these lashes. They're right here. This is what they look like. These are the bold face lashes in double take. Really like these when I don't have a liner, so I'm gonna put those on. I'm gonna brush my hair. Probably gonna do some dry shampoo because I've been at work today, and I'll come back and I'll show you the finished look. Okay, so that is the finished look. I am done with the first look with the Amrezy palette. I love this look. I feel like every time I see a palette like this, I'm like, oh, that's cute. Oh, is there a blue? Is that a blue? Can I just cover my whole face with the blue? I feel like this is maybe a tad more, dare I say, daring than maybe most people would think about when seeing this palette, but this is my aesthetics. This is what I like, and I kind of like wearing some neutrals in the crease with this bright turquoise. The turquoise is beautiful. Now let me get into look number 2. I'm probably gonna do some pinky leaning looks coming forth because I do love some pinky look. Could you snore a bit, like not so loud, sir? Okay, it's time for look number 2. As you can see by my lipstick, I am gonna do something really pink today. I think I'm just gonna use this one here. I don't feel like this, if you want to do something pink, which I think this palette, I mean the palette is pink. The palette is pink and they said the theme was Barbie, but if you want to do something pink, there are literally only 2 orangey, so similar orangey browns that you can put as a transition color. So I thought today I'd skip the transition color altogether and I'll just use this Semsa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm just going to use the Semsa in my crease, and we're going to see what kind of result we will get by just using that one. And before I forget, I am using Clinger. This is NYX Suede, but it's in Clinger. That's the lip color I have on. Now I'm just gonna blend the edge here and see if I can just shear this out a bit. But I have a feeling we're gonna be fine actually. I'm just using a pretty dense brush without any additional product. Just something that's a bit dense. This is basically a smudger brush by the Cleonad stained glass brushes, but I'm just using something that's a bit stiff and without any additional color, and I'm gonna blend this out. And then I'm probably gonna add a bit more of the color in the crease to deepen it up, but I need to like diffuse it first. Now I'm just adding a bit more of the same color, but I'm using a smaller brush now so that I can be a bit more precise and just like try to deepen it up where I want it to be more deeper and keep it diffused in the other places, since I don't have any lighter shade to blend this out with. And I'm taking it a bit higher here because I want to do a cut crease? I haven't done a cut crease in a really long time. Maybe I'll do a cut crease. It's been a while. I'm gonna use a bit of this color that's called BK. It's like a black, but it seems to be more of a charcoal maybe, so it's not like a pitch black. I'm gonna just do a little bit of that in the outer corner. And then I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. And we'll cut the crease. Maybe I'll put a bit under my eyes as well. You know what? I'm gonna use this brush and just put some of the purpley pink under my eyes as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this color, the Reezy color, the really pinky one. I think I'm gonna use that like in the middle of the lid, and then I'm gonna use the wasted one here. I think I'm gonna use that in the inner corner, the inner part. I really like Barb as well. It's super pretty, but I think I'm gonna save that for look number 3. So look number 3 is gonna be with Barb, but let's start with Reezy. Like I said, just in the middle here, I'm just pressing it into the concealer. It's like almost dry. Almost dry. I'm just pressing it into the concealer, meeting the line up here. And I'm probably gonna end up blending this edge with some of the dark color. Probably something like that, and then the light color in the inner part. I'm just gonna use a bit of the dark one and just tap over here to blend a bit. I'm just gonna take a pencil brush from, this is a Kaleidos makeup pencil brush, and now I'm taking Wasted. And I'm gonna put that in the part that's left. It's this pale, it's like a satin, a pale satin pink. I'm also gonna put this in the inner corners. I usually take just a little bit of that Semsa, which is this purple, and I just run it along the line here to just define that line a bit. I'm using ever so little. I'm very, just the tippity tip. Just define it a little bit. I don't feel like that is like a very bright inner corner highlight, but I do feel like this look overall is very pretty. Let me just do a little bit of a liner and mascara, and I'll be back and show you what it looks like before some falsies. Have I been in focus? Am I in focus? I hope I am. It's hard, people. It's really hard. Okay, so this is the look when I have some mascara and liner on, and I really like this look. I think it's so fun. This is really Barbie, and I feel like maybe this is not as bright as you could go, because I could probably use more of this Reezy. What's the name of the shade? Reezy, yes. I could probably use more of the Reezy and make this even more pink, but I really like how this is looking. I am gonna put on the, what are these called? The sashas. These are the Huda Beauty sashas. So I'm gonna put those on. They are pretty big and a bit flared. And I like flared lashes like this when I have a half cut crease. So I'm gonna put those on. I'm gonna brush my hair. I'm actually filming this on my birthday. So happy birthday, Angie. I'm turning 24 again. No, I'm not. I'm turning 36 today. Not when you're seeing this, but when I'm filming this. So, happy birthday, Angie. I'm having a bit of wine. Let me put this on. Let me brush my hair, because that's what I was gonna say. I've been at work today, so I need some dry shampoo. Again. Okay, that is the finished look. My hair is very poofy with this dry shampoo, but we're gonna pretend that this is the way it should be. The look is finished. I have these Sasha lashes on and I really like this look. I think it's really pretty and really girly and Barbie-ish while still being a bit like sultry, because that's what I like. And I love that I did a bright lip. I very seldom do bright lips. I should really challenge myself more and do more like statement lips or bright lips, because I really do love the look of a statement lip together with a more colorful eye look. So I really should do that more often. But yeah, that was the second look. Let's go into look number 3. Okay, time to do the third and final look. I'm having a dark lippy on today. I love this together with the yellow. I think it's beautiful. This is the Elva lip stain. This is from Odens Eye Cosmetics. This is the Dry Dates. Dry dates? Like a dry date? That's not the kind of date you want to go on. Or is it dates? No, but it says dates. Dry dates. I'm not going to question that name. I'm going to do a halo eye. I'm going to do it with this one that's called Barb. I'm going to do Semsa. I don't know if that is how it's pronounced. On the sides, maybe together with a bit of these darker shades. I think I'm going to start with this one, the more orangey one. It's called New Yorker. Oh, it's meant to be like her accent, right? That's cool. I used the OG before. These are... yeah, the New Yorker. Am I even doing this right? That is a bit more orangey, so that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm just going to put this in the outer and inner parts. Yeah, this is just like a very warm orangey brown. I think it would have made more sense for this palette if this one was just a bit more orange and the other one was a bit more brown. So there's actually like some difference between them, because on the eyes, I don't feel like they are different enough. Never get when like palettes that have these few colors still have like dupes within them. Like, I don't get that. As you can see, I'm just pulling it a bit higher and I'm gonna gently connect them just a little bit, but not too much, because I want to pull this barb up pretty high, I think. Just blending this a bit. A halo eye will never look good in the beginning. Same with the smoky eye. It's never gonna start out looking super nice and well put together. It's just gonna, you're gonna look like a clown in the beginning. It's just how the cookie crumbles. And obviously you can do smaller halo eye, would you just put a bit like this. I just have so much real estate here with my lid space, so I'm used to taking it up a bit farther because I like how that looks on me. But if you have less lid space, I would say just keep it a bit lower. Otherwise you might hit too far to the brow and it might make you feel a bit uncomfortable, because that usually turns to look super dramatic. So just keep it a bit lower in case you are worried that it's gonna look too dramatic. Okay, so I'm leaving it like this, and now I'm taking that Semsa, which is that like purpley, pinky purpley shade, and I'm gonna deepen up just the outer and inner part, not go as high, just keeping it around here just to deepen this up and give it a bit of that burgundy vibe, because I feel like together with this orangey brown, this is gonna turn a bit more, you see, like purpley wine. Is that the correct word? Yeah, wine colored. I always get confused with the V and the W because they are so different in English, but they are not in Swedish at all. They sound the same in Swedish. I think that is pretty nice. This is probably how I'm gonna keep it, to be honest. I'm gonna use a bit of these colors under my eyes as well, starting with the orangey brown and then just layering some of the purple on top, trying to mimic the same color scheme on the bottom. I'm just dragging it out here so that they meet, but because it's not nice when you get like a blank spot here. You want the lower lash line and the upper part of your lids to meet so it looks like it's actually flowing around your eyes. Now I'm gonna use the Barb one, which is the color right here. Like I told you, I've only used 2 colors so far. I've used New Yorker and I've used Semsa. Those are the only 2 colors that are on my eyes, and now I'm gonna use a Barb. I think to make this super intense, I'm gonna use just a little bead of glitter glue in the middle, and I'm just gonna tap. I'll show you. I'm still using the e.l.f. one. I have so much left. I'm just putting a little bit on my finger. Maybe I don't have that much left. Oh, maybe I've almost used the most of it. Oh, go me. And I'm just gonna put a little bit. Do you see how little that is? And I'm just gonna put that in the middle. And I'm just gonna tap that out. And when I go over with the Barb shade, it's gonna be mainly focused on the sticky part, but then as I go to the edges, there's not going to be any glitter glue there, which means that it's naturally going to fade out because it's not going to be as intense. So now I'm taking that barb shade on the same finger. You can use a brush obviously, but I don't have really long nails, so I can use my fingers, and I'm just again tapping it on where I put the glitter glue, and you can see it turns really intense here, and then I'm just continuously tapping around this area to make it like fade out a bit. And as you can see on the eyes, this doesn't really look that pink. It's like a pink greeny gold. That's basically the colors that are in here. It's like a pink base. You see it there, it turns a bit pink, and then it's like a gold, and there is a bit of a lime green shift in here as well. It's actually a pretty cool shade. It's not unique if you have a lot of indie makeup, but if you don't have a lot of indie makeup, I don't think you'll have something similar to this in your collection. So this is what it's gonna look like once it's done. I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. I'll do a little mascara. I think I'm gonna skip liner and I'll come back and we'll finish this up. Okay, here we are. Mascara is done, and I used a bit of, I wanted to have, listen, this does look a bit brown, and you know me. I'm not the person to go brown, but I kind of like it though, and it goes really well with the sweater. I'm gonna fix my hair as well, but I did use this for the first time actually. This is the Colourpop BFF Cream Gel Liner in Electric Daisy, and I used this on my like waterline. I hope you can see, I hope I'm in focus. I hope a lot of things when I'm filming this. So I just pulled in a little bit of something. I don't know if you heard that. And if you don't like that, obviously you could just pick a brown or a white or a beige or nothing, to be honest. I wanted to show you, because right now I don't have anything in my inner corners, and if you're doing a halo look, obviously you could do an inner corner highlight if you want to, but I'm actually gonna do the two shadows that I have around my eyes. I'm gonna pull that into my inner corners as well, and I'm gonna show you like the difference that it makes. Because if you're going for something that's a bit more dramatic, actually with a look like this, if you're just doing the same shadows all around your inner corners, it's gonna make the look even more mysterious and smoky. And I hope you can see the difference that it creates if you just pull it all the way around, like the way that we did here. You just wrap it around your inner corners as well. You could definitely do an inner corner highlight if you want to, but I actually like doing it like this when I'm doing halo eyes, to just pull it all the way around and just really make it smoky. So this is where we are. I'm gonna do some lashes. I did do some mascara, so this is what it would look like if you didn't do lashes, and honestly I think it looks really good with just mascara, but I love lashes, so I'm gonna put on the double takes, right? Yeah. These are the Bold Face Lashes double takes, so I'm gonna put those on. I'm gonna brush my hair, and that's gonna be the finished look. Okay, this is the finished look. This is what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found some inspiration for the palette. Let me know down below which were your favorite look with this, and let me know which are the shades that I didn't use that you would kind of want to see like in a future look. I didn't use this purple, I didn't use the glitters. If you're interested, let me know, maybe I can make that happen. And I think that was everything for this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I do upload quite a lot of videos, and I will see you, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or maybe on Wednesday. It depends a bit, but there's going to be a video either on Tuesday or either on Wednesday. I don't know which one, but check back. Check back. Bye!